Hello, this is Paula Anderson with Paula Anderson Coaching and Consulting. And today we're going to have a conversation about leadership and communication. But before we start with the conversation, I want you to like my YouTube channel so that you can receive instant notifications when I drop a new video. So, leadership and communication. So, leadership is a topic that I like to share with individuals who are in a leadership role or individuals who are aspiring to be a leader within a company or an organization. So, there are four styles of leadership that I like to teach on. So, they are transformational, servant leader, charismatic leader, and transactional leader. So, let's talk about a transformational leader. So this is an individual who leads by example, but they also help individuals to grow and to get to where they need to be in their professional career. So examples would be TD Jakes, who is a pastor, and Lisa Nichols, who is a transformational coach. So these individuals work with individuals within those areas, trying to get them to the next level. The next leadership style is servant leader. So, this leadership style is normally found in faith based organizations or within a church. So, you have a pastor who needs to lead by example, and then you also have a executive director over a nonprofit organization who needs to lead by example as well. The next leadership style is transactional. So, this is a leadership style that I primarily had while I was working in my professional career. And one of the things about a transaction leader is that there's no creativity, there's no room for growth. They really just want you to do what you're doing. And they just set goals and objectives, and that's pretty much it. So, you don't want to work under a transactional leader. The last leadership style is charismatic leader. So this is a leader who believes in change and who is very relatable. So individuals such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and also Barack Obama are considered to be examples of charismatic leaders. Now, another topic that I like to teach on is called communication. So, we're going to talk about communication channels. So, what are the channels that we use today? So, we know that we have our traditional channels, which are television, radio, and then the telephone. But we have new media technologies such as social media platforms, we have smartphones, and then we have digital technology. So when you think about all these different ways that we communicate, everybody does not communicate the exact same way. And so that's one of the challenges that we're facing in the workplace is that everybody has a different communication style. So this is the first question for you to think about. What is your preferred communication channel? And think about what your generation is. So, are you a baby boomer? Are you Generation X, millennial, or Generation Z? So, when you think about the four different generations, you want to think about where you fall. So, because we have four different generations that are actually working, each one has its own way of communicating. So, baby boomers, of course, grew up in a time where there was no social media, there was no smartphones or anything of that nature. So, they're used to communicating in a traditional way. Generation Xers, they're used to communicating with cell phones because we grew up in a time where cell phones were out when we were in our 20s. And then we had, of course, other technology that came into existence. So we actually were uh, living in an age when we didn't have technology, and then we were living in an age when we did have technology. Now, millennials, so they're the generation that has that has grown up with technology in terms of before everything switched to digital. They knew what it was like to not have a cell phone, but they actually started getting cell phones when they were in middle school. So they actually grew up on technology. And then we have Generation Z, who are getting ready to enter the workplace. They grew up totally on technology. So they only know social media, they only know uh, smartphones. So when you're trying to communicate with each one of these different generations, of course, it can become very chaotic because you have to make sure that you're communicating effectively. Now, one of the other questions that I want you to think about as a leader is how do you communicate with your employees? So, do you call team meetings to communicate with them? Do you do one on one type meetings? How do you communicate with them in order to convey a message? So, for example, say you have to reduce someone's salary. Are you going to send them just an email explaining that you have to reduce their salary, or are you going to call them and just say, I want to make sure that you understand the reason why we are reducing your salary so that when they receive that information, they won't feel like it's just information. You have no concern, you have no care. So think about what we've talked about in this video. We've talked about leadership styles, transformational, servant leader, transactional, and charismatic leader. And then we've talked about communication channels, the traditional channels, telephone, radio, and TV. And then the new media technology is going to be your social media platforms, your digital technology, and then your smartphones. So stay tuned for more videos from Paula Anderson Coaching Consulting, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can get instant notifications when I drop a new video.